Welcome to the 9th episode of the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to speak with Amanda Bussiere, known as Manifestbossbabe. Amanda is a divorced single mom of two beautiful girls and passionate about living a life of abundance. She made a vow to herself that she would no longer use the words one day. Since then, she uses her knowledge of manifesting to create opportunities in her life. She's passionate about empowering her clients to create the life of their dreams and desires. Her mentoring program is focused on building women's self-confidence, self-worth, breaking limiting beliefs, and tapping into their full potential. Wait till the end of the episode when Amanda is going to share with you her amazing offerings. Welcome, Amanda. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for asking to have me. I'm super excited to be here.
We are all individuals, yet I found it so interesting that there are certain overlaps on our journeys and how we support our clients. And I cannot wait to dive into this beautiful and important conversation that we are about to have. As you know, I'm also a single mom to two beautiful children, a boy and a girl, and I'm also divorced. Through my mentorship work, I also help women with overcoming self-doubt, self-sabotage, and procrastination by tapping into their most authentic true selves, tapping into their intuition, and living their abundant dream lives. To do this, there's so many, of course, different components you have to explore, but a starting point is understanding how the law of attraction works and how to manifest. And the three main areas that my clients want to manifest are money, health, and relationships. I know manifestation is your expertise, so I would like to start by talking about the power of manifestation, and I would also like to talk about your other expertise, which is helping women to build self-confidence and self-worth. And for those, Amanda, who are completely new to the subject, what is manifesting?
Well, manifesting, we do it all the time. It's basically asking for something and you get it, whether it's good or bad. You don't even realize you're doing it. I have just really started tapping into it about a couple of years ago when I actually found out about the law of attraction and what you think comes back to you. I've learned it. So then I've started using it for my own ability to get to where I need to go, right? And the thing is when you're thinking about bad things, there's that term, three things, a bad will happen. One thing happens and another thing happens. And you're like, where's the third? Well, you're expecting it to happen, so it's going to happen. So people are usually subconsciously not even realizing what they're doing. So manifesting is just asking for something and getting it. However, if you want to get what you want, you need to flip the script and believe in yourself that you're actually worthy of it and what you really want and going after it, asking for what you want. Sometimes we think we're delusional and we think, I could never have $1 million or whatever it is, but you have to be that person that accepts it and knows that they can have it. And that's where I come in, and is building up your self-confidence. Because where I was at years ago, I never thought I could live the life I'm living right now. It's incredible what I've accomplished in going after what I want.
Thank you for sharing. So what are the most frequent things that your clients want to bring to their lives?
Relationships is number one, and money for sure. Exactly what you said, and health and wellness too. I'm actually a personal trainer as well. That's where my journey started. Is I hit rock bottom and I was super depressed and I had a plan to end my life, and I thought, well, where are my kids going to be at without a mom? So I changed my life around, and I watched a lot of documentaries, and I was seeing how nutrition and exercise really changes a person's life. Little did I know throughout my whole journey of losing like 100 pounds that it was a mindset, right? It's a change of positivity and how you feel about yourself. So when you start implementing all these habits and keeping consistent, it builds up trust in yourself and confidence builds. And then it's just a big momentum. So then you start feeling good about yourself, and then you're capable of doing things that you want. So that's kind of where the getting what you want comes into play.
Beautiful. And I definitely will have that conversation with you during today's podcast. But I would love to start with us talking about relationships, as there is nothing more important than the relationship that we have with ourselves. And no matter what we want to manifest, everything comes from within. All the answers are within. I truly admire your courage and power to leave your marriage, which for me tells about the immense work that you have done in the area of self-love and respect, self-respect. Could you tell us a little bit about why you decided to leave your relationship and how has your life changed since then?
I married my first boyfriend and I was absolutely in love with him when we got married. But I was also really young and I hadn't grown into the human being that I am now. And of course, when you grow and evolve, things change. And I was a farm girl. And when I left the farm, I was not looking back. I'm now a city girl. And he fell in love with the farm girl and the small town girl. And I just could not see a future together. He's an awesome guy, super awesome guy. But he's just not my guy. And at that time he was. But as we grow and evolve, seasons of our life, people are coming and going. And the thing that really, the reason why I stayed as long as I did is because I was afraid of what everybody thought. And I was supposed to be this person who everybody thought I was supposed to be. Like that's, I think, why most people stay is because they're scared of what people are going to think or that they're supposed to be this person and wear this mask. But yet they're dying on the inside and they don't want to upset anybody or hurt anybody's feelings, but yet they're willing to be sad and hurtful on the inside themselves. And when you do that, you're not even showing up as a true person for yourself. You're not even giving your whole person, your whole self to everybody around. So when you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else and you can't receive love. That is the number one thing that I found out after I left. I'm loving myself. And now I'm like receiving love and I'm able to allow people to love me. He loved me, but I just put up this wall and I'm like, I can't even accept it because I didn't love myself. So why should I be worthy of love? Because I can't even love myself. And same with my kids. Like now that I'm growing and I've learned to love myself, I'm able to give so much more. And that's, I think, what women need to learn is you need to take care of you first. They tell you that on the airplane. You put the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping anybody else out. Because that's as moms, we give, we give, we give. And as wives, we give, we give, we give. But we forget to give to ourselves, take care of ourselves first, right? And who's suffering? We are. And then when we can't take care of ourselves and give to ourselves, we can't give fully to everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I completely agree. Well, I also chose to leave my relationship. Mine was an abusive one, but I did leave for so many other reasons too. Getting divorced allowed me also to reflect on the importance of self-healing that we each as individuals should do to evolve at a soul level, individually and as a couple. If only one person in a relationship works on themselves, a relationship is not going to work. And then I would also like to talk with you about, well, we are fed with so many lies, both men and women, since we are children. If we look at the mass movies, mass media, we are being told that a woman should wait for a prince on a white horse to come and save her. And then they get married and they live happily ever after, which is a recipe for a disaster, according to what I believe. Because what life has taught me is to never take a relationship that you're in for granted. Committing yourself to a relationship is very important. And you work for that love. So feeling in love is not enough to sustain and build a strong relationship. I would like to hear about your view on that.
Absolutely. But I even grew up with the viewpoint of you have to give 50-50, relationships 50-50 to make 100%, right? And my point of view of that is completely changed. You have to give 100% because there's days where you can't give 100 and your partner, if they're showing up as 100, they're showing up that much more for you. And I truly believe that everybody needs to heal themselves and figure out what triggers them. What they have to heal those child wounds of themselves, because if they don't, then they're going to show up emotionally unavailable. And I've done a lot of healing. And then there's the masculine and the feminine energy, not saying sexes or whatever, but there's the more masculine. And I found I was showing up very masculine in my relationship. But I wanted to be a feminine. I wanted to be taken care of. I wanted to be the nurturing, the passive, the receiving, but I was always give, which not in his fault. I pushed him away because I was in charge, but yet I so desperately wanted to be taken care of and being the feminine energy. But that was in my childhood wounds, right? Like I didn't feel the love that I needed. Not that it's my parents' fault, but I have a specific way I needed to be loved and I didn't receive it the way I needed it. And I'm recognizing that now. So I showed up as masculine because I had to take care of myself and love myself or protect myself and put up boundaries, which pushes people away. And I pushed away a lot of people in my life because of this. So I feel that in relationships, you just have to know yourself fully before committing to someone else. You have to know exactly what you're willing to give and what you're not willing to settle for. Because I find that sometimes people just hop into a relationship just to have a relationship. They just want to have someone there and they don't actually are willing to commit to what it actually takes or what they actually want. Like, I am not going to get into a relationship just for the sake of having somebody in my life. I know exactly what I want, and I'm not going to just settle for it. I want a specific person that's going to fulfill my needs, and I can help show up and be that person that fulfills their needs.
Definitely. Yes, I completely agree. So many women that I work with feel incomplete and they are so desperate to be with someone else. They want to manifest their dream partner, hoping that someone else is going to complete them. And I always say, especially after a breakup of a relationship, but even without that, wait, spend time getting to know yourself, check what you are a yes for, what you're not for, and practice kindness, self-love towards yourself, date yourself, enjoy your life. What's your view on that? I know that you've never been happier since leaving a relationship and you're so happy and fulfilled with being single. Well, please expand a little bit about that and tell us why, in your experience, so many women also lack self-confidence.
The thing is you need to learn who you are. So as I'm single, I'm figuring out who I am as a person, what I like to do. And the thing is I found out so many people, myself included, are so scared to do things on their own. They will not go to a movie theater by themselves. They will not go out to dinner by themselves. They won't go on a road trip by themselves. They won't go do things, even a yoga class, something so simple. They won't go do things because they need external validation. They need somebody to do it with them because they're afraid. Afraid of what? I don't know. Because I was that person too. But as you learn to build up your self-confidence, you just do it. Just do it. What's going to happen? You're going to learn the things that you like to do and that you love. Because that's the thing I want to do, teach my clients too, is how to go out on dates with themselves. Like, and I think that's the beauty. That is where the joy is. When you learn that you can do things on your own without somebody else, that's where the joy is, because you're doing things that you absolutely love and you don't need someone else. And then what you do is you find somebody that you want, not that you need. You don't need someone in your relationship. This goes for guys too. They shouldn't need somebody. They should want somebody. They should want somebody to experience these life with, not need someone. That is my take on it. Like, it's like a bank account. You work your job and you fill up your bank account and you're able to live on that. And then your significant other is like the savings. It's the extra goodness that just brings so much more joy that you can experience more with.
Definitely. So what advice would you give to those who want to manifest their dream partner? What's the secret?
Learn to love yourself. Be love. Be love. And just tap into that. And what happens is when you love yourself and you start vibing on a high frequency, you're going to start attracting people into your life. All kinds of people, not even just a relationship, but even with jobs. You'll become magnetic, and then more opportunities are going to happen. But learn to love yourself wholeheartedly. Do things that you love to do. And then when it does happen, you're going to be doing the things that you love to do. So they're just going to blend really well and be in alignment with you.
Thank you. Um, I love how you show up for your clients and for your followers, showing your vulnerabilities, showing your true self, including all the raw emotions, your journey. And this is what I truly believe what makes, well, I think working with you so magnetic for your clients and in general, for you to have such a positive and high energy. I know you've already mentioned, and I've seen it in your social media as well, about a period in your life when you were in a more divine masculine because of all of the life experiences. And I also had to become independent. I got used to having to do everything on my own. It's been a process of learning how to ask for help, knowing that I don't have to do it all on my own. So I would like to talk with you a little bit about stepping into your divine feminine. And we all have, and I know you know it, both divine feminine and divine masculine within ourselves, no matter what our gender is. But I believe there's nothing more beautiful, and you've already touched on that, that when you choose to be in a relationship, you're able to step into your healthy divine feminine. You're able to trust and surrender to a man who, when he is in his healthy divine masculine, he will have at his core protecting your heart. So I love then that interplay of the divine feminine, masculine, and it's so beautiful and magnetic. So could you tell me a little bit and share with the viewers, listeners, about how can we step more into our divine feminine, because we've been so preconditioned to be in that masculine?
I'm still learning this whole feminine energy thing because I've just started tapping into it. Because as a single mom, you know this too. We have a roof to provide like for children. We have to be the doers. We have to show up and be the providers. And so it's hard to tap into the receiving mode when you're like, go, 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 and I have to provide and I have to do this as a single parent. However, I have started to learn to ask for help. I've never been like that. I'm like, I will do it all myself because I can't count on anybody. They always let me down and I know it's going to get done. So I never used to ask for help. And that was a setback of mine. Even in my relationship, I would never ask for help because I didn't want to upset him or walk on eggshells or, which is on me. I was assuming that that's how I was going to be treated from different scenarios in the past. So I just thought, I'm not even going to ask for help. So now that I'm on my own, I have learned to start asking for help and receiving. And I never used to take compliments. That's another thing that some women might not have ease doing, is taking compliments. I used to deflect them. Somebody would say a compliment to me and I would deflect it right away. I would never receive it. So that's another thing I started learning, is taking compliments or being more outgoing and telling someone a compliment is going to come back to me and accepting it. What else have I been doing? Receiving gifts. That's another hard one for me. I feel that I have to give,
Mm-hmm.
which is very masculine, right?
I know
Even
that.
going out for dinner, I'm like, I have to pay 50-50. Like, I'm new to this dating thing. And I thought I have to pay 50-50 for everything because they work hard for their money
Mm-hmm.
too. It's like, yeah, but they want to treat me. They want to spoil me. And I want that. I want to be treated like that. So why am I putting out
Mm-hmm.
the 50-50? Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I'm okay with allowing it to come in.
Yes, yeah. Well, if we talk about abundance, I know you help your clients to step into their power and, well, how can one live a life of abundance? I've already mentioned to our viewers and listeners at the beginning of the podcast that you made a vow to yourself that you would no longer use the words one day. And this reminds me of Ed Milet's The Power of One More. And I know we are both followers of Ed Milet and we find him very inspiring. So, what are your biggest takes on what you've learned from him? What's your own life philosophy? And how can women tap into the potential that they didn't know that it was there?
I was actually just listening to Ed's podcast before hopping on to this call.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my favorite ones that he has. It's you are the greatest, or just what was his saying? It's you are the expert of the person you used to be, which I have the imposter syndrome sometimes, thinking, how can you really help people?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is something bad happens in your life and you learn from it, you grow from it, you evolve. Or you can play the victimhood and just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
You can just not do anything and just keep playing the victim and have bad things happen to you, or you can grow and evolve. So what I'm doing is all these things that I have learned, I am passing on to people so then they don't have to make the same mistakes. They're down there in the dumps too, but I'm going to teach you tools and coping mechanisms that are healthy to get into a place where you need to be at. Like when you lose your job, what are you going to do? You can go homeless, or you can go on, there's so many different avenues you could go, or you can hustle. That's where the masculine energy comes in, is you need to take action on it, right? There's been so many, and the thing is when you go on Instagram, you see the perfect curated life that people live,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't realize what they've actually been through in order to get them there, because everybody's been at rock bottom. They've had obstacles, they've had like things that have happened to them for them to overcome. And it's not just once. What makes them successful is they're able to use these strategies and techniques and tools to get them successful into where they are now. So these women that I am helping are the women I used to be. They used to be overweight. They hated themselves. They never looked at themselves in the mirror naked. They felt lonely, sad, but they put on their mask every day and pretended that they were perfectly fine and that they were the Pinterest mom. Everything was perfect. They were the Martha Stewart. They showed up to everything. They did everything over and above and beyond, but inside they were dying. They were so lonely. They were so sad. And felt like they had to show up as a perfect 10 in order to be worthy of anything. And they're looking for that external validation. That's who I used to be. And now I don't care what other people think, because that's on them. And usually when they're judging you, that's because it's a reflection of themselves that they don't like about themselves, which is another thing I'm teaching women how to do. That thing that you don't like, let's change that. I remember there was these two women in town. They started their own gym and I was absolutely jealous of them. Like I would talk smack. And what it is I was jealous because they had what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And now I admire the heck out of those women. I am constantly complimenting them, sending them love, because they went for their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I wasn't doing, is I was just hiding in the shadows, judging other people. And that's what people like to do, is they like to hide in the shadows in their victim role, and they don't want to get out there and go after it. They'd rather sit on the sidelines and be loud about it,
Mm-hmm.
rather than getting in the game and playing and being dirty and doing it, not knowing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, no, I've just had what popped into my mind. I remember one of your videos where you use that analogy and then you explain to your followers why do women wear makeup when they go to the gym? And would you be able to tell about it? Because there's like, first of all, I would like everyone to like stop judging and like let you allow other people to do whatever they want. And yeah, you tell.
That's a really good one, because there was a girl that actually commented on that, and she was livid. And she's like, I have thousands of followers and you're just bad mouthing women and I'm not following you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you didn't get the point of this video. The point is you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yes,
It
exactly.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I was just asking, why do you do it? Like, why? I wanted to make a conversation about it. And there's women, like I even went to the gym the other day wearing makeup because guess what? It was the end of my day. I just finished work, so I was wearing makeup. So I wore makeup to the gym.
Yeah.
There's also days where I wake up, brush my teeth, put my hair back, and I go to the gym without makeup. My teeth are brushed, but there's no makeup on. And I was just building a conversation. And there was two reasons why people do it is because they don't care what other people think. And they will feel good about themselves. So they do it for themselves, or they wear makeup because they're insecure and they want to wear a mask. So I was just building a conversation, and it was interesting that she said that. Another good conversation too that I was building on social media was about the divorce thing and how people have glow ups after the fact or during. Like my journey is I was exercising and then I was getting more fit. Then I ended up leaving my husband. Well, there was a lot of men that attacked me because they said, oh yeah, you get fit and you go for someone hotter. No, that's not at all what happened. I built self-confidence in myself, knowing that he deserves to live the life that he wanted, and I deserve to live the life I wanted. And I was actually confident in myself that I could build a life for myself. Because when I was there before, there was no way. I'm like, how can I leave him? How can I live a life? How can I provide for these two kids? We co-parent, by the way, which is super important to me. But I'm like, how can I do this on my own? I've never been alone by myself. But then after I was building up my self-confidence, I was like, I can do this. I'll figure it out. I don't always know what I'm doing or how I'm going to get to where I need to go, but I'll get there. So that's another one that I got attacked on, which was interesting.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's time to talk a little bit about health and exercising. Well, everything is a vibration, and you have to be a vibrational match to really attract things, people you want to attract to your life. I know you have an amazing home gym, you batch cook, you're very well organized, and I've recently seen your beautiful affirmations in your home gym. You've inspired me, so I'd like to create my own ones. So for me, working out is a commitment to myself. It is a self-love practice, showing up for myself. It also raises my vibration and speeds up what I'm manifesting in my life. But I've also learned throughout the years to not push too much and to listen to my body. As I had a very complicated relationship with my body, probably also because I was very much body shamed for how I looked, but also I felt like my soul and heart were shamed as well. I was shamed for being a woman. So I used to be completely disconnected from my body, and I had so many injuries. My body was screaming, and I didn't pay attention to it. So one of the injuries that stayed with me and reminds me of the still reasonably recent period of pushing through the limits of my body is my wrist. I overtrained and developed a bone structure on my wrist, and my tendons are now rubbing against it. I was told to be careful as my tendons can snap while training. So I really can't use a barbell. I can't do push-ups. I had an ultrasound 3 weeks ago and my tendons are inflamed. The inflammation frequently flares up. They don't want to operate me, and I don't want steroid injections. The intuitive part of me knows that it's going to somehow heal itself. But what I want to share with you and with the viewers and listeners, that I'm also into finding ways of making things happen and not finding excuses. So the part of me that prioritizes self-love, self-care has reached out to my trainer as for my well-being and for my mental health exercises. Well, exercising is so important. So we reassessed my training and we made necessary adjustments. So the old self would have been in a victim mentality and would have punished myself and would lead to those tendons snapping. So like you like to comment about the importance of your workout routine and what it does for you, and how it can change the lives of women that you're supporting.
Absolute exercise is so important. And the thing is it makes you feel amazing. I remember when I first started it, I hated it. And that's the thing is most people don't start because it's brutal and it's hard, right? It's hard work. But what they do is they try to go in too much. They try to do too much at once and then they start it and then they don't want to do it anymore because it's too much to obtain and to be consistent at. So you have to start small. And another thing is women, I have found in my experience, want that magic pill. They just want to show up and they just want the perfect body by just showing up and not really doing the work. I used to run boot camps and I saw a pattern where they just want the magic wand waved at them. But you have to put in the work and you have to be consistent. You can't just work out one day a week and expect it to be magic within 6 weeks. That's not how it works. You have to show up every day consistently. And then the eating thing too. And I actually, being a personal trainer, I hired a trainer too, because coaches have coaches. And I've been struggling with my eating lately. And it's trying to find that perfect match. This past year, I had gained a little bit of weight that I'm not impressed with. So I hired a trainer because I'm like, I just want someone to help me get to where I need to go. And it's my eating habits that I have to change because I'm eating healthy, but I'm eating too much. So that's another thing too, is eating processed food is like, I don't even know, this is going to be like making a lot of people upset, eating poison, basically. Because if it can sit on your counter for days on end and weeks on end and it can't go bad, can you imagine what you're ingesting into your body? It's not nutritious. So that's another thing I teach my clients too, is about nutrition and how important it is to fuel your body. I can proudly say I am never sick because of the food that I eat. I eat whole foods, and that nutrition in your body will heal your body that much faster. For example, I had a cut on my hand the other day from work, and it's already healed because my body heals so fast. It is so important. There is this guy that I was talking to, his daughter's boyfriend got into a really bad accident. He should have died from it. And the doctors are flabbergasted with his recovery rate because he's diligent with his exercise and his nutrition. It's healed his body. Our bodies are miracle machines that are able to heal, and people don't understand what a gift it is to take care of our bodies. So that's why moving your body, and you're going to live longer when you start moving your body, even if it's just walking every day and a little bit of strength training, whatever it might be, your body will live longer because you're taking care of it. And then just consistency, just showing up every single day and listening to your body. You were right, because I've had injuries and I just thought, oh, well, I'll just keep pushing through. Well, what are you doing? You're hurting yourself. You're not, your body is like, wait a minute, something's not right. So you have to learn to listen to your body and take those rest days. And I know when I'm overexhausted, I can't put in my 100% into my workout. So it's my body's way of saying, okay, Amanda, slow down. Let's have a rest day. Let's do some yoga. Let's maybe just go for a walk. And that's all we're doing today. We're not going to do anything crazy because your body needs to heal and recharge and reset. So then you can give it all you got next day.
Beautiful. Yes, I completely agree. There are some days when I feel exhausted, and then I know it's time to maybe go for a walk, do a little bit of Pilates, maybe yoga, and then, well, your body appreciates, and like, yeah, it's a self-care, self-love ritual. And I completely agree with what you said. Well, I'm all about eating food that loves us back. I feel like it's so important. So you're doing an incredible job with your clients, and by showing, well, you're an example to all of your followers. I think it's so important. Can we talk a little bit about setting goals? I know you're an expert, and and also in order to manifest, we need to take action. So this is something very, very important. So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, this makes me so excited. Okay, so I have created a list. Like, I'm talking, people need to start vision boards, creating lists of stuff that they want. Start writing this stuff down. I started doing this. So I've done a projection list for 2024 of everything that I've accomplished. So it's like a projection of what I want done. And I wrote crazy things down on it, like absolutely crazy. Like, whatever, if it happens, that's incredible.
Yes,
And if it doesn't, that's just planting the seed for the universe saying, "Oh, okay, she wants this. Let's move some things around so it can happen." So I'll tell you a small example. The Rush game is a lacrosse game, and it's in a couple cities, well, city away from us, about 3 hours away. And I wanted to take my girls to it because they've wanted to go, and they've never been before, and I absolutely love it. So I was looking at their schedule. It's a small window of opportunities, and I get my kids every other weekend. It never worked out on the weekends that I have gone, ever. So I was like, oh, well, this isn't going to work. Lo and behold, I swapped weekends with my ex. Well, I asked him to take my kids during this one weekend. And then I was trying to make it work so I could go see my family for Christmas. And we swapped weekends. The weekend we switched just happened to be the weekend that there was a home game for the Rush. So it worked. And I wrote it down in the book. And another thing I wrote down is I'm going to be on podcasts. Here I am.
Here we are. And I'm so happy that you've made it.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you just write things down. And I also wrote down that I'm going to meet a super influential person. I don't know who this person's going to be, but I just wrote down all kinds of things on this list. And the universe just creates opportunities. However, when I'm manifesting, you have to be super aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware and open to opportunities, because for example, manifesting money. You want more money, but you think it's just going to automatically just drop into your bank account. That's not necessarily how it happens. You have to just see it as different opportunities. Like for Christmas, the girls, everything that they wanted was on sale. To me, I'm manifesting money. I'm saving money. So that's a way of money coming back to me, right? I gave money to a homeless man that was sitting outside of Walmart. I dropped a 20 down on his thing because I happened to have $20. I came home to put my tips away in my safe. Here I found a wallet that I didn't even know I had, full of foreign currency that I didn't even know I had. So it came back to me. Yes, it was already there, but I didn't know I had it. You just have to be open to opportunities.
Yes.
Or like another thing that I'm manifesting money, I want more money. So then a shift pops up, like a serving shift. I serve part-time too, which I absolutely love, because I have met so many people and created so many opportunities because I talk to people. And that is another thing. You need to talk to people. You can't just sit in your home and not do anything. You have to get out there and talk to people and tell them about what you want to create and what you want to do, because then they might have something or know someone that can help you get to where you want to go. I actually just watched a movie last night with my girls called The Original Angel. And that is exactly how I view my life. She created opportunities. She found somebody that needed help, and she didn't take no for an answer. She found other opportunities. That's what no means. Next opportunity. Just because that person says no doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So when I'm manifesting, I'm like, okay, this said no. What else can come up? What else is available for me? And if it didn't work out, that means it's not supposed to work out. There's something else coming for you that's going to be better. So if it's not this, what's coming? That makes me so excited sometimes, because when things are good, you're like, what else is coming for me? What else is happening? Because this is so exciting. Do you create lists? Do you do that stuff?
Yes, I do visualizations, and then I love writing down things that I want to manifest. And sometimes I get specific, but I also set an intention that I would like this or something better. And then I put it into an envelope, and then I surrender. and then I enjoy my life. And then this is where when the universe is able to step in and to really do their job. So definitely it does work. You've already mentioned about money, and so many of my clients, they want to bring and manifest more money. And I know you know that money is just energy. And so many people have attached various emotions or connotations to money. So how can you remove self-limiting beliefs or any stories around money? How can you manifest more money? What's your advice?
Well, like I was saying too, you can't think of it as just physical money. Like it's different opportunities and different ways that you can get money. Like I said, like picking up shifts, a shift pops up, oh, that you didn't have before, or a discount on something that you're needing, or you get a service done for free. That's still money. You're manifesting. It's just energy, right? Like money is time traded. That's all it is. When you go to your job, you're trading your time for money. So it comes in different frequencies and different levels. So when you are vibrating at a higher level, you're receiving it differently. Because if you don't think you deserve it, you're just going to keep your head down and do the grind. You're not going to actually be open to opportunities that could be available to you, or think of different ways of how to attract money into your life. I feel like there's a lot of people that just live in the box and they just can't see outside, and they have these limiting beliefs, and they just think that just because I live in this box, this is all that's available to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. You have to be open to opportunities. That's the greatest. I don't know how else to explain it. Like you
Oh,
just
no,
need
definitely.
to come up with different ways, or be open to different things that people can offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the importance of our surrounding, of the environment? Could you talk a little bit about the impact of the people that we surround ourselves by, the importance of boundaries, and, well, the importance of sometimes leaving certain people behind and creating space for
Mm-hmm.
the like-minded people maybe to enter, because that also, I believe, speeds up manifestation, and you're able to really enjoy your life more, as it is the self-love, self-care practice as well.
I completely agree with you. When you have your inner circle of people, you are who you hang out with. And quite often, when you're trying to when you're trying to make yourself better, it's a very lonely road. I've made a post about that too. Like the road with the most traffic, they just do the same thing over and over again, like Groundhog Day. So when you try to break free, it's very lonely. And I have lost a lot of friends through this whole process, through my divorce, through my mindset thing,
Mm-hmm.
through exercising. Because
I
people
can
are like, why do you
relate.
exercise?
Yeah, I can
Why
relate.
do you not drink?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? The drinking is a huge one. When you don't want to drink, peer pressure is brutal. Or when you want to eat healthy, well, let's go have some pizza, or let's go eat
Mm-hmm.
this. It's like, well, I don't want to. The peer pressure on that is crazy. And then you just get shunned. So then they quit asking you. And quite often, those people that have those habits, they don't really want you as a friend. They just want you for the experience. They're
Mm-hmm.
just including you because they can't do it by themselves. There
Mm-hmm.
was a point that I made before, right? People want people to do stuff with. So if they want to go to the bar, well, they want to take a friend. They don't want to go to the bar because they want to go to the bar. They're taking you because you're the wingman. And that's just a habit that you're feeding. Whereas I want to go to yoga because it makes me feel good, just
Mm-hmm.
like how they go to the bar because it makes them feel good. But I can go to yoga by myself. And those people that when you start growing and evolving, it's okay to shed those people because you're just outgrowing them. Sometimes they will grow with you because you're inspiring them, which is okay. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't surround yourself around them all the time because they will actually hold you back from what your true potential is. So when you start growing and evolving, yeah, it's going to be lonely. Trust me, there was many days I cried myself asleep by myself. It was brutal, absolutely brutal, because I thought, wow, I left my life for this. Yes. But
Mm-hmm.
then opportunities come in,
Yes.
new people you meet, and it's like they have other things to offer you that you had no idea. I have a very, very small knit of friends, 5 friends,
Mm-hmm.
very, very small knit. But when I am with them, I am lit up. And after being with them, I am vibrating on a whole different level. I'm sure the whole town of where I live is glowing from how I feel because I'm vibrating so high. And that's just where we're at. We vibrate each other up to a different level and we provide something different to each of us. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids too. Like, you don't have to be friends with people that don't make you feel good, and you don't have to, you can set boundaries. You can say no. Because, for example, my daughter her friend wanted to hang out with her and she didn't want to. I said, just say no. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to hurt her feelings. That's not up to you. Like, that's not
Mm-hmm.
on you on how somebody takes it. Like, that's on them. Just because you don't feel like it that day, that's fine. And if somebody says no to you, that's okay
Mm-hmm.
because they're just not feeling it. What else can I, there's just the crab in the bucket. I've said this analogy on one of my postings too. Crabs in the bucket. I forget where I heard this from. When you're with those group of people and you're trying to get out, they try to pull you back in because they want you to be who they know you are, right? So when you're trying to evolve and grow and become a different person, they don't know this person. And so they're like, well, who are you? And I don't know who you are. So they try pulling you back because they're in love with that person you used to be. And it's hard sometimes to cut those ties. But if you truly want to follow your authentic self and be who you know you need to be, you got to cut those ties sometimes or set really, really hard boundaries where you know that your heart's protected and you'll be okay. Because there's certain people in your life that you can't necessarily cut off, but you need to set those hard boundaries and move forward.
Yes, and I've recently heard that quote that if you set a boundary or you distance yourself from someone and they really take it as a personal attack on them, it means that that boundary was very, very necessary. So I truly believe.
Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit about the importance of women supporting women?
Oh, yeah. Women. So back to the judgment thing. If
Yes,
you remove judgment from your life, which means you love yourself so heartedly, you can support other women and encourage them and create a bond with them. And it is such an amazing experience because when you're judging people, you can't support them,
hmm
right? And I love how women can come together and support one another and help each other grow because we're not competition. That's the thing is we always look at each other as competition and, oh, well, I want to do this better or how come they're doing it better? Let's just work together and remove all judgment and help each other grow and evolve. Like, that's why I love women like you that reach out to other women and like, hey, let's collaborate, let's grow, let's help each other out because that's what this
definitely.
is all about. What it's about is creating a better world. You're trying to create a better world. I'm trying to create a better world. Let's make these people live a happier life. And that is what we're doing. We're trying to create awareness. We're creating waves. So with us working together, hopefully we can help so many women. That is my goal, is just to help
Yes,
waken
and
them
teach
up and
our
say, hey,
children and make a world
yes,
better for our children.
yes. Oh, like my kids, I'm telling my kids, what is your dream right now? My oldest wants to be a landscape photographer. And I'm like, okay, there's so many opportunities you could run with this. Like, you
Mhm.
don't have to go to school. And I'm actually encouraging them to find themselves after graduation. I'm like,
Beautiful.
you do not need to go to school
Yes.
to be something. How about you be yourself? How about you find out who you are?
Yes.
I said, why don't you move to like Australia or something and
hmm
just go work there for a while? Figure out who you are and what you love to do and experience life. Maybe you'll meet somebody and some other opportunities, and maybe you'll take pictures over there and you're going to like live the best life ever. Why wouldn't you want that rather than going to university, doing what you're supposed to do, or get married like back in my age,
hmm
graduate, go to
mm
university and get married right away and start having kids? But why would you do that when you don't even know who you are as an
hmm
individual? That's another thing with relationships. We rush into it without even knowing who we are. So then we eventually grow apart, and that's not fair to each other. we don't even know who we are at that point. So I love that we're all collaborating together and creating waves.
Beautiful. So what is the final thought that you would like to share with the viewers and listeners? Anything that pops into your mind?
Final thoughts. Let's just don't be scared of who you are. Remove that mask, take it off, and be who you really are, because the world needs to see who you are. Be authentic, live your life the fullest, because we only have one life to live. And that's the thing. That's why I said no more 1 days. I am not saying 1 day anymore. If I want to go do something, I'm going to figure it out. I am figuring it out. I'll put it out there, and the universe will create an opportunity for me some way, somehow. It might not happen right away, but it is going to happen. And we need to learn to start living like that, because we only got one life to live.
Beautiful. And finally, could you share with the viewers and the listeners what amazing offerings do you have and where people can find you?
For sure. Well, you can find me on any Instagram, or you can find me on any social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as Manifestbossbabe or Amanda Bussiere. And for my offering, I am offering a 5 blockages to remove while you're manifesting. What's blocking you from manifesting? Amazing. And we're going to link it up to the bottom of this podcast, the PDF, so you can get onto my site and get a free copy of it. And I'm also going to be doing courses as well, helping women boost up their self-confidence to help guide them through it and get them working through this stuff and breaking those limiting beliefs, removing all those cobwebs from inside, and letting them see who they truly are.
Thank you. Well, I want to again acknowledge how inspiring your work is and what an inspiring and powerful woman you are. I'm so grateful that you've agreed to come to the podcast. It's been a pleasure. And I just want to say thank you to all of the viewers and listeners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for crossing paths with you. You're such a beautiful human being.
Thank you. And goodbye, everyone. Bye.